believes that more work equals more success. So if you work a lot, you will be more successful. If you believe in that, please stand up. You can barely see who stands up in the light. Nobody.
Me.
Believes on that.
Swiss.
Believes on that. Swiss people. Well, then probably you should all stay seated right now. Or does anybody identify with this? Can anybody identify with that you're hardworking, that you're a hustler, or that you always give 110%? You go the extra mile because your hard work will pay off at one point. Do it again. Everybody else stays the seat. Second person still here. And yeah, I can tell you, everybody who raised their hand, you need to work on yourself. Because it's actually smarter to be lazy. Because if you don't believe me, believe Bill Gates, he would always hire a lazy person, because a lazy person will find a smart way to finish the task with minimal effort. And that's what I want to show you today, how I achieved success with minimal effort and how you can copy this as well. Because laziness is important, but you also have to be smart about it. So you cannot stay in bed all day. That's not the laziness I am talking about. This is me 15 years ago. The smaller guy with a lot of hair. No more hair. But I'm born in Germany, but I left Germany 16 years ago. I kind of studied tourism and worked as a receptionist, but also as a sales representative. This was back in Spain, in Tenerife. And if somebody asks me, what are you doing? My short answer is always German teacher, but you will know that's a very short answer. And I also love travels a lot. And my first laziness lesson was back in Tenerife, because they actually offered me an apartment with this kind of view where I could stay, because my work came with accommodation. And everybody wanted to have this apartment with this kind of view. And because I was their best-selling sales representative, after a couple of months, they told me, yeah, you want to have this apartment. And I said, hell no. Because there was a catch to this apartment. It was half an hour away from the hotels where I was working. So that means half an hour drive in the morning, half an hour drive back at 12, because it was morning shift, 4 hours off. Afternoon, evening shift. So I had to drive 1 hour back and forward per day. If I want to go out at night, it's the third time. So it's 2 to 3 hours at the end, driving just to get to this apartment that I'm never really enjoying, simply because it's so much driving. And the apartment was big, beautiful, but I had to clean it myself. And that was actually the bigger thing. Like, I was staying in a hotel. They were cleaning my room all the time without me doing that. So I didn't want to clean. It's like, no. And everybody else was asking, why? Like, don't want to clean, don't want to drive. So I stayed in my tiny hotel room and saved a lot of time that I could do other stuff, like selling excursions and making money by this. And after working in tourism, I wanted to stay in Brazil with my now ex-wife. But in Brazil, tourism only pays you like €200 for a 60-hour work week. And you can probably guess by now, I said like, hell no. I'm not getting up for a 60-hour work week for just €200. There must be a way that I can make maybe just those €200, but for way less hours than those 60 hours in a hotel at the reception or the management there. So my first goal was make a living in Brazil, and more money usually means more work and therefore more problems. So at that time, I was actually among those people that raised the hand or stood up. I was working a lot. I was sometimes teaching German from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. So I was working a lot, also was making a decent amount of money, a lot more than those €200. But I literally had no time to actually enjoy Brazil, to actually spend the money I was making. So I had to upgrade my goal. And that upgraded goal was like making money while I'm sleeping. Well, back at that time, more like live more, work less. because I wanted to enjoy this life a lot more. Those beaches were literally a 5-minute walk from the place where I was living that I could barely see because I was working so much. And it's actually optimized for like one by one, but there's 3 symptoms of a disease that I call hustler disease. Because if you're working a lot and you want to find out if you're actually working too much, you are the bottleneck of your business and you're actually the one factor that's limiting your business, you get 3 symptoms. And symptom number 1 is that your business card would have to be like twice the size of a regular business card because you're doing everything. You're the marketer, you're the SEO guy, you're the social media guy, you're just doing everything. And if your business card looks like that, that's the very big symptom of hustler disease and leads to symptom number 2, that you're often trading your hours for pennies. You're doing stuff that doesn't make you any money and maybe it makes you money in the future at one point, you hope so. But often it's just really trading your time for pennies because you just do everything yourself. And that automatically leads to symptom number 3, you reach a plateau. Like no matter how much you work, how many hours you work, the day only has 24 hours. And nobody can sell more time than 24 hours a day, and therefore you reach a limit. Today with AI, the limit got lifted a little bit, but still, you need to tell the AI first what to do. And that also limits your time. So if you do everything, you will reach a certain plateau that you cannot pass if you don't stop doing everything yourself and start being a little bit more lazy about everything. And in order to reach or get out of this hustler disease, at the end, the first thing is you actually get extremely good at 1 or 2 things that actually matter to your business, that make the difference, that will help you to actually grow your business, to increase the revenue, increase your profit. For me, that was SEO. That's how my website gets the traffic, and email marketing. Email marketing, the sales funnels, they actually sell my books and ebooks. So those were the 2 things I was focusing on. And everything I outsourced. First thing I outsourced was emails. Email admin task is the very first thing you should outsource because that is very little value to your business if somebody asks you, well, where can I download my ebook? AI can do that or an assistant can do that. So everything that is not direct sales, like if you sell something 5,000 euro, you probably want to answer some of those emails yourself. But if it's just like the customer service for the random stuff, have somebody do it or have AI do it, and that applies to literally everything that's not critical for your business. So if a hamster or I can do it, don't stop the computer from doing it. Don't stop other people from doing it because otherwise you're limiting yourself. And I will show you now my system and what I do and what I don't do myself. And I run a 6-figure ebook and book and course business. It's the golden goose is pretty much the ebooks because that's the highest margin about German grammar, German language learning, and that's the stuff that I know by heart. If you ask me something about German grammar, I can tell you immediately, but it's fully automated. So you can also ask the chatbot on my website and it will probably give you a very similar answer to what I will tell you because I trained that by now. But the stuff that I do and don't do is like everything that's formatting, editing, covers, don't do that myself. And I'm kind of good at it, but there's people a lot better at it. So I outsource this to freelancers, to AI, emails, I already told you, first thing that was gone. Something if you have 0 budget for outsourcing, you can also outsource emails by just having either a bot on your website that answers all the questions already, or the simpler version, an FAQ page. If you have an FAQ page, that will seriously limit the numbers of emails that you will get because people can just check on the website and most of the questions are already answered. Stuff that I still do myself, I could outsource it, but I actually enjoy it, doing it, and it's critical to the business, is SEO and YouTube. And what you definitely should outsource, don't do any manual payments anymore. Outsource that, because if they can pay you with credit card, it's always more accepted than any bank wire. That if you're a scammer, if they don't know, they send you 5,000 euro on a bank wire, there's no way they're ever gonna get this back. I mean, nobody's a scammer, but you don't know who's on the other side. So payments have to be automated. There's Stripe and other solutions, and that's the first thing you have to automate, and it's possible with zero budget, so very easy. What I mostly do when I work with my business is like strategic chats. That's why I come to this events like this one. I can chat to people that have similar businesses or totally different businesses and can talk about how to improve stuff. And also then I can either adjust the course of my business, the strategies and everything a little bit, do a little bit more A/B testing. That's what I also do because it makes an impact on the business. That's why I'm doing it. And I can maybe think about what's next, either what's the next product or what's the next project on top of what I'm already doing. And I will show you now a little bit more in detail what I did since I started my business. And this is back in 2016, my very first ebook. Who here has learned German or tried to learn German? Oh, more than I thought. This ebook is about German cases. I guess everybody will agree that's a nightmare if you have to learn it. But I actually found a way to explain it in an easy to understand way, because it's actually a very logical system German language works with. And this was the very first ebook. You can see the initial spike, it was the launch. And then it plateaued at around 300 euro a month, just for starting to sell people something. The left side says 500, simply because back then there was like a second minor business, which is inactive now. But let's have a look at the next year, 2017. I started to create more ebooks because by then I figured out, oh, ebook is a good thing. I spent 2 years doing something else because I wasn't listening to the people that were actually on my website creating courses in English. Bad idea. If you want people that want to learn German, they want to hear that in German because they already speak some German probably because it's all grammar. And I was just assuming they wanted English. Cost me 2 years. And more ebooks means more money. Because in the moment you can sell them more, they will pay you more. The moment you can offer them something for more money, they will pay you more money. And every ebook, you can see that, new ebook, and then there's an initial spike, but then it plateaus on a higher level. So you should focus on creating more products in your niche. So it's easier to ask for 100 euro for ebooks if it's 10 or 20 ebooks. It's very hard to ask for 100 euro if it's a single ebook. But if it's 10, 20, you can ask for a higher price and therefore make more money with the same effort. And that's 2018. The spikes are either Black Friday, was always the last one, or like new ebooks. 2020, COVID hit, and then it was already 7,000 euros a month. And every spike, except the last one, is a new ebook, and you can always see it plateaus higher with new ebooks. And by 2020, it was 10 ebooks. And that's the 10 ebooks I have till today. So I pretty much didn't do a new one for the last 5 years. And it kept on making money. Yeah. The main reason, the main thing you should know is always start now. Don't wait until you're perfect, because that's never gonna be the case. And here some ideas how also to start. Even that works always, but it also works if you're just at 0 level and just trying to figure things out. The first thing you have to do is silence the noise, silence the distractions. Like I said, admin stuff, emails, get rid of it. Other people or AI can do that for you. Very important, don't try to be that I do it all. AI can do stuff for you, or find a team member that you pay preferably to do stuff for you. The very first money you're making, you should use to outsource stuff. So don't increase your lifestyle with the very first money you're making, rather scale your business, reinvest. And outsource stuff that doesn't make you any money and automate it. That's also a way of getting rid of the tasks. Emails is easy to automate, other stuff, payments, easy to automate. Everything is should be can be automated, should be automated. And in the moment you have one system running, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Try to create new products or new businesses. At the beginning, maybe something that's related to the first one so that you can cross-sell. But in the moment you have something running on autopilot, try to go somewhere else. Something is different from the first one. And that's the steps. First, get one thing running that actually works smoothly, and then you have to reinvest. And like I said, not in a nice car, not in an inflated lifestyle, suddenly flying business all the time instead of riding there. So definitely reinvest in your business first. It also means better tools, better team, train your team, and create new products. And I will show you now how I did it in detail after COVID. During COVID obviously helped because everything went digital and now. And I had already 10,000 euro in net profits. That's not revenue, by the way. And that's 86 from the ebooks. And I also added printed versions of all the ebooks. So I had all the content already. And now I simply have the minimum effort for the maximum outcome. I created the printed version of the PDF file and then gave it to Amazon to sell. So those printed books created another 42,000 euros. You can see the minimal effort of creating something new here instead of trying to run a completely new business, because this had still a lot of opportunity to scale. And apart from that, I also did other stuff, because it's always very bad if you have all eggs in your basket or your one-trick pony. My main products are the ebooks, like you can see. In 2024, it went a little bit down already. You can see that 64 only. The books went slightly down. Those are the percentage to the year before. That's like 0. Tutor Compass is a new venture. It's teaching teachers how to teach. Languages are mostly German language. I also invested in a hostel in Manila, like you can see. I was scammed. Happens. I also invested in stocks and crypto. It stayed 0 because I haven't got anything out there yet. So that's why it doesn't really count for me. It never made it back into my bank account or as cash, so I count this as 0. And I'm also running Nomads in Paradise, my new passion project. The conference in the Philippines, similar to this one. Last year, it actually made negative, so it didn't make money. But yeah, we didn't lose that much money either. And actually, if you saw Samsung's talk yesterday morning, we pretty much entered the golden age for lazy people. AI, because it's never easier to be lazy and have not even a human being do your stuff. You can just tell a computer to do your stuff. So it's very easy to be lazy and AI simply take over all of your tasks on a very low to 0 budget. So it's no excuse anymore that you don't have those 500 euro a month to outsource stuff. AI doesn't cost you a thing for most of the stuff, or less than $20. If you can not afford $20, then you probably should stay in it. And in 2025, I also had to learn that AI is not only an opportunity, but also a disruptor. So you can see, you cannot ask questions to ebooks. So I think ebooks is soon gonna be either different or dead, because you have to have the opportunity to ask a question. And that's pretty much what I do right now. It's just recently implemented. If you buy one of my ebooks, you can get access to an AI that answers all questions to those ebooks, knows exactly where is what, and you can you have to give me your email for that in order to get that, but then I can market more to you, because that's why I can also afford to have the AI run for free on top of this ebook, even if you buy it from Amazon, where I have barely any margin. And there's a CS4, it's a new AI-based offers. And the rest is, ebooks is down due to AI. The books, there was an issue with Amazon, so that's why it's 80% down. It was just sold in January, and then it just, the sales restarted like 3 weeks ago. That's why it's so low. Twitter Compass is normal. Stocks, crypto, still didn't get anything out. And I guess Nomads in Paradise this year will depend on you guys. How many people will actually show up? But my main cash cow, the ebooks, is pretty much dead very soon. So I have to adapt to this change. That's why if you've been here a little bit earlier, you actually saw me a lot in the co-worker space, because I have to adapt my entire business to the change. So at the moment, I'm actually working more than those 20 hours because it's an exceptional situation and I have to change my entire business to the new situation. And at the end, I want to give you a few golden rules you should follow if you want to work less but make more. The first thing is always stop thinking, just start doing, because nobody's going to start perfect. Also, get smarter, not busier. Listen more and assume less. That's what cost me 2 years, because when I started to ask in my email offer, are you learning German or are you teaching German? That's when I found out 60% of my visitors are actually teachers, not students. And I was just assuming that most of them are learning German. But then I could actually build products for the teachers, and I literally just changed the wording of the emails. Still the same ebooks, but now I was addressing them not as you will learn cases, your students will learn. You will save time preparing your lessons, and you can imagine my sales increased, I think, by like over 100%, simply by changing the wording of the emails, because I was assuming they're all learning German, not teaching German. And be an expert in the things that matter for your business. Ditch the busy batch. If you're proud to be busy, that's a bad thing. You're limiting yourself, you're limiting your business to grow, and then scale up and let go of things. You're maybe thinking only you can do it and you're the best in it, and it's never true. You're always lying to yourself, because no matter what you do, no matter how good you are, there will be somebody who can do it better, especially this one particular task. And if you find this person for this one particular task, this person can do it better, no matter what it is. And then invest, diversify, and then again, done is better than perfect. At the end, perfectionism is just procrastination in a fancy disguise. Because nobody started perfect. I'm not sure who said it, but there's a famous quote: if you're not ashamed of your first product, you launched it too late. So if a year later you still think my first product is great, you should have started a year earlier. And that's very, very true. And to finish this presentation, I want to finish it with another example of working smart instead of hard, and an invite, because I want to invite you all to come to my passion project, to Nomads in Paradise. Nomads in Paradise is a conference similar to this one, conference with lots of learnings in the morning, and then activities, networking, fun, and topic in the afternoon. And I'm doing this not to make profit like you saw, but to give back to the Philippines, because for me it took me 9 years to actually find a country where I feel home, where I feel like this is my place, and I want to give back to the Philippines, because there is only 2 Filipinos in this event, and that's a shame, because I learned a lot during those events for business, for private life, and I want to make this community more accessible to Filipinos, and there's no easier way than bringing all of you guys to the Philippines. And it's one of the most underrated, most amazing countries with the most amazing people. And yeah, I want to invite you to visit the Philippines in September. And I'm also running a promotion. If you buy the ticket till the end of Bansko Nomad Fest, you get a second ticket for free. And you don't have to tell me immediately who that second person is. You can tell me 2 weeks before the event. So even if you don't know this person yet, just go ahead and grab your ticket and tell me later who you're gonna bring to the event, or find somebody here in the audience. The link you will find there if you go through the QR code. In this link you will also find the presentation. If you want to download the presentation, you can all get it if you scan that QR code.